review. Actually, sorry about that. So I'm actually doing the review of season 2 of Chucky. So me too. Before I begin of the review of season 2 of Chucky, I gotta say something. The season 1 is way better than season 2. Season 2, like I said, season 2 is good. Is good, but not as great as season 1. But the reason why I like season 1 better is because even though season 2 has one problem, it's only one problem. It's just one of the episodes has a problem that I didn't like. Everything else is still good, still really cool, and really enjoy the really enjoy the season. And on season 1, I didn't like one character named Lexi. I didn't like her because she was bullying uh, Jake all the time, and always, and Jake actually meets Devin. So meets Devin. 1 second. Hey, what the hell is the character that? Oh, okay. I don't see him. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Jake actually likes. That's normally later on, normally in the series. No, I already explained that in season 1 of the show. Um, it's kind of like hard to recap everything. So normally, so season 1 is good. The reason why I did not like Lexi as much in season 1 is because she was rude to Jake and rude to most of everybody and making fun of him every single step of the way. But in season 2, she matures a lot more, and I enjoy her acting skills, and she's improved really well. And they're always there together every time. I think the reason why they were there together in the first place is because of Chucky in general. Chucky is back in season 2, but he does much more crazy shit. So let's go to the stuff. There other people I do like, and then people or new characters has come in season 2. Jennifer Tilly is still there. Jake Wheeler is, I think that. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that's his name. Okay. Jake Wheeler is the main character of the show too as well, and Lexi and Devin. Devin becomes the main protagonist. All three of them become the main protagonists of the show. And we'll talk about one of my favorite characters I did like before she goes. Her name is Nadine. I'll talk about a particular part of her scenes that are really interesting, that I really enjoyed, but kind of sad news for that one. And every single character in this story has done really well. And I like Nika too. Nika is really important in the story thing that I really enjoyed. And will make more importance to it later when I continue. I like the character who plays as Devin, and also enjoys becoming his character does change too as well. He used to be a podcaster in the first season, but everything changes. Everything does change, and when does things change, when Chucky comes around and ruins everything, mostly everything changes in his life. So mostly he stops doing podcasting, and he stopped doing it, and because he doesn't like doing it. In this new season, the Christmas season, we'll talk about the parts and that when we get over there. Yeah. Give me 1 second. We go back to the name, the episode. The name of the episode is Halloween 2. That is the first episode that we know that begins. So I have to read the entire thing again because I did it before. I was interrupted. So, yeah. Well, the Tiffany doll holds up in gunpoint instead of the truck good guys dolls install. Andy drives it off a cliff. Months later, Jake now lives with the Foster family, Samuel, in New Jersey, with younger foster brother Gray. And Simon Webster, both Jake and Devin, receives a threatening phone call of Chucky, who reveals he's outside of Lexi's house. And okay, well, Lexi's house, and Coraline lets him in, believing he's a trick or treater. And Devin calls the police. Chucky is already gone, and Mayor Cross is attending therapy. Coraline blames the Hackensack murders on a junior. Therapist Dr. Mixer helps a bride design a Tiffany doll. Lexi grows suspicious, warns Coraline do not trust any dolls or any other dolls or dolls. Alerts Jack and Devin, the new doll, they arrive in the house, stays the night. The next day, Gary arrives at Lexi's house with a Chucky in a tow, carry homemade bomb. Oh, that's crap. That's scary. um, Chucky explains the army of dolls survived in the truck crash. One thing I didn't like about the season before I continue, there are different types of Chucky dolls. They're much more different and they have different versions of it. A different there's a good Chucky, there's a bad Chucky, there is stronger Chucky. There's different types of Chuckies. But we'll talk about the good Chucky part later on because it's much more pivotal in the story. Okay, what was I? What the? Okay, here's with the mom. Chucky explains the army of the dolls struck in the car crash, um, and he planned to lure Jake and Devin and Lexi in the same location. Okay, same location. And so he could kill all three of them. I don't know why he has against all three of them. I'm surprised. He still hates all three of them. Because they always foiled his plans. That's why, probably. When Chucky is distracted, Devin teases him and causing him to drop the bomb. Gary picks up the bomb and runs, but Chucky attacks and detonates and sent Catholics. Wait, hold on. Wait, 1 second. He picks up the bomb and runs out. Chucky attacks him and detonates the bomb and kills himself and Gary. So mostly Chucky dies and kills Gary. That's a little bit. That's the nephew. He goes to states with. And Jake and Devin and Lexi blame for Gary's death. Lou to judo prison. They're actually after that, and they go to a Catholic school. And they go to a Catholic school, Catholic school of integrating Lord. When they arrive, Devin immediately recognizes the school as the same building that contained the boarding home that were Charles Lee Ray grew up in. Mostly Charles Lee Ray grew up actually there as well. Grew up there normally. Shortly after their arrival, the mail truck delivers Chucky box-sized package to the school. So that means another Chucky is there that is delivered by some guy delivered a Chucky doll to the church. So that's the end of the episode 1 of season 2. That one was really good. It actually made an interesting plot, and it made it really mostly that episode is really good because it actually makes you think, because mostly what's his name, Gary does die because Chucky explodes and he does die mostly. They both die. So yeah, they both are dead, so they get blamed for it and they get sent to a Catholic school. So now the next episode is different. It's the senior. That's it. I mean, the season episode 1 was good, really good, and that's my not my favorite episode, but I still like it. It's still really good, and it actually slowly gets better, and there's some episodes in there I really did enjoy. The senior are much more fun. Tiffany wakes up the next bloody head Tiffany doll that Andy killed. Nika Chucky who has now been Tiffany's captivity for years. Say it's warning that it's coming to kill her. The detective later visits Tiffany's investigations. Nika disappears, but Tiffany kills him. So Tiffany actually kills a detective. At the school, in to create Lord, Jake, Devin, Lexi met the headmaster, Father Bryce. Father Bryce is also a pivotal to the story too, and he gets much more cooler in one of the episodes. As well as Lexi, trick roommate Nadine. Nadine is also the pivotal to the story, and she is one of my good characters, and I'll tell you what happens to her in the coming episodes. Okay, well, is that Nadine, who admits she is Kilio ketaphatic or something? Kelotomic, something like that is KLEPTOMANIAC. If you guys know what that is, it would be nice. I don't know what that is, but something. I think let me see what that is first. It is okay. She's still okay. That's what it means. Okay, makes sense. Never mind. I'll look into that too as well. Lexi also discovers that Trevor, her childhood bully, is a student of an altar boy. Meanwhile, Chucky is doll sent to school, awakens, causes a nun to die in a heart attack. That's another one. Who then he, who he then photographers when Father Bryce catches Jack comforting Chucky. He locks them in the same room with Chucky's photographer. Jake escapes through the chimney. He makes his way to Lexi room and photographer and her snorting clonazepam. I think clonazepam is something like a drug, a drug Lexi keeps on taking over and over again. She goes kind of nuts with that. Jake and Devin arrives. I think she also took that is because she was under a lot of stress, a lot of weird stuff that's going on in the series, a lot of craziness. Trust me. Jake and Devin arrives at the tea, him and up. Jake theorizes the specific Chucky is Marley, a scout of someone else. Mostly all the Chuckies right now, they are scouts. Some of them are killings, some of them are scouts, doing for the other person, other person's bidding to do other stuff. After revealed, Nika and Chucky have formed an alliance to take down Tiffany, Glenn, and Glinda. Chucky and Tiffany twins arrive at their house. So that's episode 2. So the twins, we actually get introduced to them actually very early in episode 2. So I was like, I wonder what they were, but the characters grew on me. They were really good, so they will start get much more better around the episodes to come. And yeah, that's episode 2. So episode 3, Hall of Mary. Lexi discovers Chucky has only connected to his phone. The phone named the Colonel, whatever. We'll just call him Colonel. Trevor, who sees the drugs Lexi, Lexi's possessed, been taken. Trevor actually noticed her having those medications. Informs her that her mother lost re-election. He later threatens to use his leverage to ruin her life. When Chucky refused to reveal any information, Jake insisted to attempts to sway him to their side means to serious overload of advanced therapy. It appears it works. Chucky is declean, good, whatever you call it, and seemingly pathetic. Jake and Devin argue over their methods, and Devin want to kill Chucky. I will talk about that part a little bit too as well in the later episode when I tell you about what happens to Nadine. Okay. Okay. Devin want to kill Chucky. Well, no, okay, not this. Still overcome with the guilt over killing Gary, believing he can. Oh, sorry about that. Believing he can only forgive himself if he can also forgive Chucky. Thanks for joining. Forgive himself. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to look for where I am. 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm trying to look for where I am right now. Okay, there I am. Father Bryce witnesses the two kissing. Meanwhile, other Chucky doll is delivered to the school. He kills the priest. He kills a priest, while Nadine confesses mostly. When Lexi suffers an anxiety attack, Declan leaves Chucky, later showing up to Father Bryce's desk. Lexi admits to Nadine that she's suffering from depression and anger. They grow closer. And I do like that scene because they grow closer together when when Lexi talks about her feelings to Nadine, and she does tell her in the other episode, when we'll talk about that a little bit later on, and she does talks about her feelings, about her stress and everything and whatever whatnot, and she reveals that to Nadine, and she tells everything about a little bit of most of her life and things like that, and she tells her how she feels about it, and that's a good thing she does. Lexi opens up to Nadine about it, and Lexi does not tell most of these things to Devin and Jake, any of that actually, yet, of course, but she does tell it to Nadine though. The next day, Trevor enters Lexi's empty room, but the newer Chucky follows and brutally kills him. Jake and Devin, Lexi and Nadine forced him to hide the body. So yeah, Trevor does die from a brutal death. And the newer Chucky, who is bigger and stronger than normal, enters the Father Bryce's office and threatens to kill the cleansed Chucky. The cleansed Chucky is the good Chucky now, as we think, maybe or not. So yeah, that's the episode 3. So we're gonna go to episode 2 and episode 4. That's the one that I did not like. That's the episode 1 that I did not like. I think that is the detective episode, I believe. That's the one I did not like in that particular episode. But it was still decent for what it was. Glenn and Glenda, who's believed Tiffany is actually Jennifer Tilly, as well known. Questions her about her acknowledged to Nika. So, Tiffany Fagan's ignorance. Glenda then tells Tiffany of recurring nightmares in which they murdered a young woman. Glenn and Glenda is also The relieved, they're invited to over Tilly's friends and family. Gina Garrison, and some other names I don't even know about. McKinley, some other people I don't even know about. I think they are also part of the story too as well. They're actually in it. So, as the part of the surprise party, Tiffany has also hired a butler, Jeeves, who quickly aggressive, whatever that name is called, a graped something. I don't know how to pronounce that. Aggratives guest, aggrative, the guest, or some word of that. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. With his grass questions. Despite Tiffany only hiring him as a guard for Nika's room, when Nika disappears from the room, Jeeves turns up dead. Tiffany pretends she is hosting a murder mystery party. As Tiffany searches for Nika, questions of her guest about Jeeves' death it is revealed that Glenn is addicting Nika to attempting to help her escape. So they actually help. Well, yeah, they're trying to help her escape. Actually, so where's the thing? Yeah, so Glenn is trying to help her escape mostly. So, flashbacks from 3 months. 3 months ago, further reveals that Glenn and Glenda discovered a tied-up Nika, accidentally triggering an emergency of Nika Chucky, who was convicted. Nika Chucky. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I kind of missed where I was. I spent 3 months. Accidentally triggering emergency Nika Chucky, who convinced Glenda to help him to kill Tiffany. In the presence of Glenn, it tries to usher Nika's out of the house instead of Joe corpse reawakens Nika and Chucky. Glenda knocks the unconscious with the aid and new metal arm. So mostly, Nika gets a new metal arm. So she gets a new arm because Tiffany actually literally cut her legs off and arms off in season 1. You have noticed that. And season 2, she gets, I think, only her arms. She gets 2 metal arms. I'm not sure about the legs. She only gets the metal arms though. She gets those. So yeah, that one. In the presence of Glenn, ushers Nika out of the house. So yeah, she's starting to escape now, Nika. The sight of Joe's corpse reawakens Nika and Chucky. Glenn knocks her conscious. The metal arm, not Nika. Oh, I'm sorry about that. The arms, Nika and Chucky tries to shoot Tiffany, but the bullets are gone. Tiffany helps Chucky bring Nika back. Glenn gets to stay behind as Nika escapes with Glenda. So yeah. The entering car driven by still alive Kelly. Finally, Chucky reveals the audience that Glenda killed Jeeves. Yeah. Well, well, Gina used up the gun's bullets for killing Joe. So that's like in this episode it's like a murder mystery thing, but it's an okay episode. But I didn't like it as much because there was not like a lot of interesting thing to it. But it was an okay episode. But it just I didn't feel like I mean it was not important to the story in a little bit, but it was fine. But in the particular part, they were trying to help Nika escape. So the the two of the sisters, or one of the sisters, were helping Nika escape. So yeah, they wanted her to escape from Tiffany's grasp. So I'm actually happy she escaped from her finally. But the episode is still decent. I mean, not great, but decent, bro. I was like, when I watched it, the episode was like, it was fine. It was okay, a bit average, but it was okay. Like I said, it was fine. And this is the fifth episode, I think, where don't know yet though. And the two Chucky, okay, this is I don't know this one. This is about doll to doll. So the two Chucky's fight inside Father Bryce's office, and the decleansed Chucky is now calling himself the good Chucky. When I saw this one episode, the good Chucky, when he comes and he was a good Chucky, like I didn't want him to die and things like that. But there's a twist for him a little bit later on in the episodes, and you see it, and you feel that really really disappointed on that one. But it's an interesting thing to it though, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Gets the upper hand on the incapacitated evil Chucky. Is Critic Phoenix. I don't know what that thing is, but hold on. It's I don't know what that is. It's a method. Oh, it's a crucifixion. So never mind. So the good Chucky is trying to do a crucifixion on the evil Chucky. Or the good Chucky, I don't know. So one of those two. Good Chucky gets an upper hand on the incapacitated evil Chucky with via crucifixion. So yeah, the good Chucky is trying to do a crucifixion with the evil Chucky. So, yeah. Nadine is like she discovers that Trevor's body is gone. That's a one dead. That's a scary one. And Devin becomes separated from Jake's continuing defense good Chucky. So Devin does not in this episode Devin is really mad that Jake is continually thinking that good Chucky is good and always helping good Chucky become good. Mostly he's trying to convince everybody that good Chucky is really good and has changed because the cleansing and stuff like that. And Devin does not like it at all, as much, as you see. Okay. Another person I did not like, and I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on. Devin becomes who begins to doubt his own immortality. The evil Chucky recovers from the nun Sister Ruth. Yeah, I don't like her. I'll tell you why in a minute. Because Sister Ruth, she is literally annoying, super annoying, and she will not shut up. Seriously. And I'll tell you the reason what happens to her very quickly. I'm really happy that it really happens to her because she will not shut up. She just says stupid stuff. Her character is really good. I do like her, but she was super annoying. I wanted her to shut the hell up in the episode. Seriously, she was so damn annoying. I don't like her as much. But as I said, she's a good character in the plot of the story normally in a way. But she was annoying, super annoying. So yeah, Ruth. Gotta remember where it was. Okay, who immediately convinced that he is a recognition of God. So Ruth actually thinks that the doll is recognition of God and powerful or something like that, whatever that is. Much more powerful than, you know, much more cool, like, I guess. Meanwhile, Glenn, who has been having the same nightmares as Glenn does. So they both have the same nightmares over and over again. So the twins have the same nightmares. So yeah. Converts Tiffany about Nika in captivity, but Tiffany refuses to divulge of any information unless Glenn reveals Nika is whereabouts of the suspicious of Meg decides to stay in Tiffany house of captive Jennifer, trap her inside of Tiffany dolls. Feeds Tiffany false information. Meg and Glenn walk into arguing. So yeah, that scene is much more worse because Meg does die in this one. So Meg does definitely die. And we do see like I said, Jennifer inside is the Tiffany doll, so the actual good Tiffany doll, and the other Tiffany is the evil one, sort of, in a way. And most of these switched bodies, and the evil one is there, and the good one's inside the other body, I guess, on the doll. So yeah, she's a good one. And when Jennifer begs Meg to help, Tiffany murders Meg and revealing the true identity of Glenn. Bequeathing or something like that. The original Glenn and Glenda doll. Tiffany and Glenn burn down the house and leaves the doll tied up, and Jennifer to find Glenda. Meanwhile, Devin and Lexi follow clues to the photos of Chucky's phone, leading them to a cabin near the grounds. In it, they see the bodies of Chucky's recent victims. The Colonel is what we know as Charlie. So Charlie is in that doll, of course. And who's badly Chucky torturing Andy. Torturing still Colonel, who is badly Chucky torturing, is still alive. Andy and Dr. Mixture. I didn't like her. Dr. Mixture is also the lady of she'll come into provision. She is an important character too as well, though it reveals she's an important plot character later on in the episodes, where we recognize, like, oh, okay, we know her now. Then I figured out it makes her sense of the character itself. And now Andy and Dr. Mixture, who calls the doll Charlie. So that's in the episode 5. The risen, he is risen indeed. So that is the 6th episode. And after that, we're almost close to be done. There's 2 more episodes left of this episode. So flashback reveals that after the truck crash, several remains of Chucky's, including the Colonel, dragged a unserious Andy captivity Dr. Mixer, who was Charlie Lee's Ray childhood therapist. So mostly we do know in this episode that Dr. Mixture was actually Charlie Lee's therapist. That's interesting. And and the childhood therapist offers to help the colonial colonel Cornelia kills or something. colon colonial kills, I don't know how to pronounce that crap, kill the other teens. When they leave the cabin, Devin and Lexi free Andy, so, who demands to take him to back to the school. Um, Father Bryce furious of Devin and Lexi leaving the grounds because mostly they're on lockdown. Actually, lockdown, leaving the grounds, lockdown at the school. Devin and Lexi and Andy posing as a homeless man to the school. Father Bryce begrudgingly allows him to stay thanks to influence of Sister Chatterini, or whatever her name is. But I liked her. She was a very nice, sweet nun. I really did like her a lot, and she was really good. And actually, she was the nicest one at chapel itself. Father Bryce gets better too as well, but she was very sweet, and I did like her a lot though. Her name was again Catherine. Catherine is what her name is. Meanwhile, Kyle convinces Nika to allow her to speak to Nika Chucky. So, what they had to do to get Chucky from Nika is they gotta actually do the blood thing. So, they gotta caught somebody or whatever that might be, short thing, and she gets transformed to Chucky. And yes, I don't know where it was. But merely taunts her about Andy and unsuccessfully argues to Glenda to kill her. Nika Glenda later drives towards the school, and Sister Ruth attempts to convince Father Bryce to evil Chucky and it's a god-like sentence. But he accuses her of heresy, and Colonel later kills evil Chucky, Ares land of common waivers. Sister Ruth vows to avenge him. Mostly he does die mostly, so the other Chucky does die. So he does die, I think. And vows to avenge him. Andy informs teens that Colonel wants to insane and kill all other surviving Chuckies from the crash. So, and he informs the teens that. Dang it. Andy and the teens. Okay, I don't know where I was. Give me a second. Okay, Andy informs the teens that give me 1 second, trying to find where I was. Teens that the colonel went and sent and killed the other Chuckies. So yeah, surviving Chuckies from the car crash. He kills the colonial, but disturbed to see the good Chucky, Dr. Mixture armed with a gun retrieves the good Chucky, looking to Andy and the teens instead of their room. Good Chucky sees Father Bryce begs for help. While Andy breaks down the door, in turn chaos, Dr. Mixture wounds his sister character and knocks Andy unconscious. The good Chucky runs upstairs. Nadine is pursued. When Nadine tries to convert him, he briefly turns evil and pushes her out of the window to her death. So Nadine does die in episode 5. Wait, no, that's episode 6, sorry. So, in episode 6, Nadine does die. So, mostly Nadine is trying to give really good um, thing to Chucky, the good Chucky. We don't see at first. I mean, in the other episode or one of the episodes, they should have noticed when Chucky actually hit the bug, killed it or something. They should have noticed that he didn't vomit. Mostly, he would have noticed that he would probably would have vomited when he was good Chucky. He would have probably would have not vomited because he didn't vomit. Mostly, if he had noted, they noticed that if he did not vomit, that's good Chucky. They'll notice because the evil Chucky does not vomit. The good Chucky does. So mostly, I believe that it is two different entities. So the good Chucky and the evil Chucky are mixed. So they are literally mixed in this one. So you get to see two different versions of Chucky in this one. So it sucks that Nadine does die in this one. I did like Nadine a lot, in my own opinion. She was a really good, interesting character, and she was really, really good. And she was really sweet to Lexi, and she was really kind. I did like her a lot in the episodes. It sucks that she does die, and though they killed her off, though. But it will not make us right with someone dying. That's what Chucky is. He kills. So mostly he reverts back to good Chucky later on, as well. And there's 2 more episodes left. The going to the chapel and the Chucky actual. That's the final episode of episode 8. We're going to talk about episode 7. Going to the chapel. So Dr. Mixture claims she is a good Chucky. And the final good Chucky doll is free from Nika, who she calls calls Chucky Prime. She's forced Father Bryce to, along with the rest of the group, perform an exorcism on the good Chucky to send the good Chucky exorcism on the good Chucky to send the Chucky to hell. There you go. I say it right. In the exchange of performing a voodoo ritual to move Chucky's prime to good Chucky's body. It's a lot of magic around here in the Chucky universe. So yeah, where was I? And traumatized Lexi overdoses on the same thing again. Colonial Zapium is also a drug, so that's the same thing. She does it again because she quit doing that, but when she saw Nadine die, probably it actually went to her so much because she related to her a lot, though. Trust me, she did relate to her a lot, and she was the only one person that she talked to about her feelings, and the person's gone now, so that sucks. And she continues taking the medication again, and causing her to hallucinate once more. Nadine's ghost. This scene I really enjoyed a lot. And this one I'm gonna say it because Nadine actually comes back and talks to Lexi, and she thinks Lexi thinks that she's not good enough to do anything or help her out. But I'm gonna tell you this in this one, and I'll tell you about that. Nadine's ghost, who convinces her to keep going. So Nadine actually tells her to keep going even though it's too hard to do, and convinces her. She talks about everything and helps Lexi out become much more better and rise up to her fears as we speak. So where was I? Alright. Convinces her to keep going. Glinda demands answers from Chucky, but simple calls from the killer demands from escape. Exorcism causes Chucky to enter the father. Yeah, definitely. The exorcist definitely goes to Father Bryce and literally kills him. The whoosh, he pops into a balloon. Well, not balloon, but he bursts and he literally dies. So mostly he tries to control it. Control it. Normally he tries to control her, but it does not work, and he literally explodes and dies. He does a good thing in that time. He does a good thing, becoming a good person in this episode. Exorcism on Chucky in the entrance Father Bryce body. Father Bryce then explodes. Nika successfully performs a ritual on Jake. Attempts to kill Chucky the Prime, but the Sister Ruth arrives and holding Lexi to gunpoint. This one was my favorite kill of all time because she would not shut up, and this is what happens to her. Jake allows Dr. Mixer to Jake allows Dr. Mixer to lead Chucky and Prime. Sister Ruth prepares Prime, but Dr. Mixer. Meanwhile, Jennifer Tilly now is wanted for murder. Wait, hold on. Okay, let me read this again. So I kind of went back to another words. Jake attempts to kill Prime Chucky, but Sister Ruth arrives holding Chucky gunpoint. Jake allows Dr. Mitch to leave Chucky Prime's. Sister Ruth prepares Prime, but Dr. Mitch escapes. Meanwhile, I kind of skipped something here again. Okay. Sister Ruth prepares to kill Lex. There it is. Sister Ruth prepares to kill Lexi anyway, but Glinda kills the Sister Ruth before she can. So she actually throws a knife at her eyes, and she's literally dead. Oh, thank God she dies because she was super annoying. I literally hated her. She would not shut up. Seriously, she was literally horrible. I mean, as a character, she was good, but as a particular part, she would not shut up as the nun. It was really annoying. Seeing God send on the random bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, she was super annoying. I'm happy Glenda literally killed her with a knife. Oh God, I was super happy she died. but she was annoying. But the actress, she's cool. As a person who acted as as Ruth, she did a really good job as acting, really good. But the person that acting as Ruth, I did not like her character because she was annoying. But the person, she's cool. Before she can. Andy chases her, Dr. Mixer, to the Chucky Prime. He kills Chucky Prime, but Dr. Mixer escapes. Meanwhile, Jennifer Tilly is now wanted for murder. Tiffany, sorry about that, guys. I got disconnected, so I hope it still goes through with that video thing. So I kind of lost my place. So I got disconnected with my video. So I hope it still goes through. So. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so I lost my place, but Andy chases Dr. Mixer Prime, and he kills Chucky Prime. But Dr. Mixer, sorry guys, it kind of crashed again, so I have to do that particular thing. I hope it's still there when I'm doing it. Okay, where was I? Swapping bodies. Okay. However, Jennifer escapes from the car and kills oncoming truck, devastating Tiffany as Glenn arrives at the school. And now, where Nika attempts to school with Tiffany, but Glenn jumps into the path of the bullet, and Tiffany, Glenda takes Glenn to get help. So now, Glenn got shot because Nika actually shot her by accident. Then we know, then the next part of the episode, we know, we know that the what's her name, um, the lady, I forgot her name, um, Dr. Mixer, she gets possessed by Chucky. So we did find out that in the episode they do show that particular part how she gets into Chucky in the next episode normally. The flashbacks reveal Chucky was able to perform a ritual to swap bodies with Dr. Mixer before Andy killed the doll. Now her body revives Chucky. The good Chucky doll is from her office, uh, which transfers himself into resulting in the police finding Dr. Mixer's body. With Glenn's condition worsening, Glenda and Tiffany decide to save them by transferring them into Glenda and Glenda's. After killing a suspicious cop, they perform a ritual transferring twins into the doll. So they transferred the two twins into, I think, one doll, probably. That's what I'm thinking. To one of the doll. With one of the doll, yeah. And after killing the suspicious cop, ritual transferring the twins into the doll. Now call themselves Gigi. So they're both inside one of the dolls. They're both together in the same body together. So that's what they're called, Gigi, I guess. To England, so they can learn more of their origin. Weeks after returning home, Jake and Lexi enlisted the group therapy, and Lexi invites Jake and Devin to the house for a Christmas Eve. And Jake and Devin, along with Lexi and Michael, and their respective relationship, Chucky arrives at the house and does Tiffany with searching Caroline Bella doll. Chucky murders Michelle, the mother, and she comes with downstairs. And Tiffany doesn't intervene while Lexi arrives to kill Chucky brutally. She definitely seeks revenge on that because of killing the mother, Michelle. So stop. She definitely kills him to oblivion. Brutal death for sure on Chucky's end. On Lexi's end. She definitely, because in the last season we do see Jake kill Chucky. In this new season we actually see Lexi kill Chucky. I think on that one. And yeah. Jake and Devin wound Bud Coraline, whose mind is been fully corrupted. Her mind is fully corrupted now by Chucky. Claims that Tiffany is her and real mother and leaves with her with the Bella doll. The next day, Jake and Devin Lexi visited by Miss Fairchild. So she was there in the first season as well. And she does come back. We have not seen her for a long time at all until the last episode of season 2. And who believes their stories about Chucky? 3 weeks later, after Tiffany and Coraline has moved to New York, Tiffany receives a threatening phone call from Nika. So Nika is actually hiding, I think, close to where they are. So they are. She's definitely hiding, but kind of close. Who is in New York as well? Who swears revenge? Tiffany attempts to transfer her soul to the Bella doll, but let me tell you this one. She does it, but it does not work actually. But it officially works. But the Bella doll is actually a Chucky doll. That was a twist again. Mostly it was disguised as a Bella doll, and now the Chucky doll was disguised as the Bella doll. Now, I think the reason why that happened is because they were communicating. Chucky was communicating with the kid a lot, Lexi's sister a lot. So I believe the communication. I believe they know where something was going on. Probably that's my guess. And she actually comes. Actually, the spell works, but it was we find out that Chucky doll is the Bella doll is a Chucky doll normally, and yeah, and the Chucky doll actually it actually goes to a black screen afterwards. We do see Chucky go to Tiffany as with the knife to actually kill her. Do we know she's dead? I doubt it because Nika does not want Tiffany to die right away because she wants to seek revenge uh, on Tiffany really bad. So I doubt she will die, but we'll see. Received a threatening phone call. Tiffany attempts to transfer the ball, so fails when Chucky reveals he was already transferred himself into a doll. So, yeah. He attacks Tiffany and Coraline smiles. Chucky recaps the season kills than he did in the first season. So that's the end of episode 8. And yeah, that's episode 8, and that's the season finale of season 2. And there is an opening for season 3 because we do see now the Coraline is she is also the protagonist, and now with Tiffany and with Chucky now. Wonder because she got corrupted now, and hold on one second, let me find where it was. Yeah, she is corrupted. So now we don't know how far of the episode's gonna go on the next season, where if she's gonna be much what's gonna be in her plotline of the next season. So we know now that she is a plot with Chucky, and she might do something kind of crazy in the next season. We don't know what's gonna happen. I was surprised about that she was. I didn't even know she was working with Chucky until now. That was a very sweet, definitely twist. A lot of twists and turns this season. Like I said, the 4th episode I did not like a lot. In my own opinion, 4th episode has a little bit of. It has problems, or it's still decent, but the other episodes after that I did like a lot. And I like the Nadine scene with Lexi. That's one of the best scenes I really did enjoy. The brutal scene with the episode 8 was really cool. Well, that was pretty brutal as hell, where Chucky literally brutals Michelle to Olivia and she does die. That sucks for Lexi, but Lexi actually takes revenge and definitely murders Chucky to Olivia and Chucky is dead. This season is pretty good. I probably will give it an 8 out of 10 in my own opinion. The reason why I reduced it to a grade is because of the 4th episode. It was not great, but it was still good enough for an awesome score. It's an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the season a lot. I like season 1 better. That's a 10, but 8. This one, season 2, is an 8. I liked both the seasons really well. They're both crafted really well. I can't wait for season 3, and this was definitely a good horror season thing. Even though October's almost done, October's already done anyway. It's been in November right now. But this was a pretty good, really good season in my own opinion. And the only one of the episodes I did not like, that it was episode 4. Other than that, it was still captivating season that I really did enjoy a lot. Sorry about the cutting and the disconnect. The internet's pretty bad here sometimes. But like I said, this show was really good, and I can't wait for season 3 to come out. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but there is an opening for season 3. That is really cool, and just can't wait for new season 3, guys. So this was my review for Chucky season 2, and I believe this was definitely a good season, definitely interesting season actually. You learn about different characters much more. We learn about different much more. We learn about other characters' perspective and other characters. This season I did like because in this season we do see the characters grow, and I do like the fact that they grow into really mature characters and they grow really well and they're really good. Jake grows up, Devin grows up, and Lexi grows up. I like Lexi a lot because she grows into a really good, interesting character, really good character. And Devin grows up too as well, and Jake grows up too as well. And they both grow up and they're really good. And only Michelle's the one I did not like. She always takes pictures, things like that, always posting. But she does actually says apology, and they both apologize. They get together, but she dies a brutal death in this season. It's kind of sad though. It sucks. It sucks. She does die too, but mostly now. Now Lexi and Devin and now Jake are now orphans. The sister's gone. Lexi's sister's gone now, and now all three of them are alone. But we still have the lady that came earlier in that season. I think Miss Fletcher. So she does come back, I said, and she comes as a cameo, and they're probably gonna live together or do something. I don't know what's gonna happen to that particular part of the season, the next season, but they probably will take those three kids in, help them out, or whatever, the next season onwards. So we'll see when that season grows into much more importance down the line. And yeah, I mean, this has a lot to talk about. Like I said, I can't talk about this too long. So, like I said, all in all, this is a pretty interesting season because we get to learn about new characters, get to know about different characters, and we get to learn about them more. And that's a really interesting thing. And some of the characters really became much more good characters onwards. And the good Chucky, I didn't want him to die, but then there was a twist that he was evil and good. It actually waved me from the good Chucky a lot. So I thought he was gonna change, but really pissed me off when he killed the Nadine. That really made me really sad when Nadine does die. I was really super sad. I like her a lot. I liked her a lot, but it sucks that she dies too. But like I said, this show was season 2 was really good. Season 2 was really good and like I said, captivating and improves on the characters really well. And like I said, I gave this an 8 out of 10. The other one is definitely a 10. The first season was definitely a 10 or a 9. I'm not sure what I gave it though, but they're both good in many ways. So definitely really good season. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe as always, and when season 3 does come out or trailer does come out, I'll let you guys know how I felt about the trailer or anything like that when it does come out soon. I don't know when it's not been confirmed yet if season 3 will be renewed or not. I still do not know. It's rumored. We don't know if season 3 is coming. Depending how season 2 does, then season 3 will come out. Until then, I'll let you guys keep you updated. I'll let you guys know if season 3 is coming or not. Until then, guys, stay safe as always. Have a great night, and thanks for watching this review for season 2 of Chucky. Bye, guys.